Hi, I'm Ismail from Pelemon, and today we are going to be talking briefly about CRO, but not how to improve the CRO on the website, but some of the quick numbers that you can look at in order to know that you might need to improve on your CRO. And also, one of the best ways to identify that you have potential gaps in your CRO. Beauty is subjective. One person could look at a website and say that this is a beautiful website. Another person might look at it and say that it's an ugly website. And there are general design guidelines that have shown to impress more people than they don't. But for the most part, it's kind of subjective. So, what is the objective evidence that you can look at to say that my website needs improvement? Well, the numbers. If the numbers are pointing to good engagement, then fine. If not, then you have a problem. So, what are the simple and also free platforms that you can check numbers for? Well, we have Google Analytics. So, right now, we are going to go to Google Analytics to look at what numbers we need to see when we are talking about this website. So you log into Google Analytics and you make sure that you go to the right account and also that you are looking at the right property. So here we are on Google Analytics, and then you go to the reports, and under here you go to user acquisition first. And under user acquisition, you see numbers like the number of users that came into your website, the number of new users, the number of returning users. Now, is the number of returning users, is that a good thing or a bad thing? It depends. If you are doing a blog, for example, and you are basically putting out content all the time, you want people to return. You want people to read one thing and then come back when you have released something else. But if you are in a service based industry, you usually want people to not come back because once they come, they have registered for your service, they've converted, and you have them as a customer on file. So they don't need to come through the same place that new customers coming through. The blog situation applies to e-commerce websites because it usually depends on the products though. Because if you have some products, you want them to buy one and also buy more, and there are some other products that don't have that level of wanting to return. Like there are products that you can use for a longer time, so you want people to buy now and basically not come back for a long time. So it depends. This website that we are analyzing is a service website, so they fall in the category of people that don't want a lot of returning visitors. So the numbers that we are looking at here is average engagement time per session. So the more time people engage on your website, it shows that they are reading your content and it shows that they are performing actions. Then engaged sessions per active user is how many active users do you have compared to the engaged sessions that are there. So is it that you have a few people that are very engaged and the rest are not? Or is it that most of the people that come on your website usually engage? One is the highest, obviously. The closer it is to one, the better. So for organic search, we are at 0.79, which is a very good number. Then another key thing here is the events or the rate that at which the events happen. That's another indicator that your website is doing well in terms of engagement. Then you can also look at traffic acquisition, and you can look at the same numbers for the traffic, the amount of traffic. Then the amount of engaged sessions from the total sessions is a key attribute. So as you can see, for people that came from direct sources, the engagement rate is very low compared to people that came in via organic. About 50% of them are engaged. Now, these are numbers that you can potentially look to improve. So you now ask yourself, why aren't they engaging? But the essence of this video is just to show you what numbers you need to look at to know that they are engaging. So you see, you have a 56% engagement rate here, and average time per session, the amount of time each session is by average. Then the events per session is also a key metric here. So that means each person that starts a session does at least 6 events before he moves on to something else. Now, one thing I like to do to show that you have improved, you come here to compare, and you compare, for example, the last 7 days to the previous 7 days. And right here, you'll see that there has been an improvement in engagement, big improvement right here, from 29 seconds to 53, 77% improvement, 27% improvement in terms of engagement rate. So you are able to compare last week's results, or last month's results, or last 3 months results to the current to the current result. These numbers help, but numbers alone are not enough. What else can you do? You know the saying, seeing is believing. So this next platform allows you to see, and it's called Clarity by Microsoft. The registration and installation process for this site, for this platform, is very straightforward. And what it allows you to do is it allows you to see live videos of the sessions, and that will allow you to identify what what aspects of your website you need to improve. So right here, we'll come here and we'll go to the video, and let's click on this 9 minutes video here. So the person landed on the home page, and apparently he left to go to somewhere else. And when he didn't perform any events for 9 minutes, then he came back and scrolled around on the menu. Next, the same thing, just one idle click, and then the rest of the session is going on. So what are the things that um, these two sessions have in common? What they have in common for me is that none of them scrolled down, and they still did not convert. They still did not get what they wanted. Although this video is not really about interpreting, it's about just how you are going to see. But what you need to know is that from this video, you need to study the behavior of people and see what actions they took or did not take, and see how you can optimize your site to potentially satisfy them better. So what is clear is that most people did not live above the fold, because most people usually don't live above the fold. So it is very important for the website to be able to satisfy customers based on what shows up first when you load the website. So based on this, we concluded that perhaps it would be best we add the form to the homepage of the website. So and that was exactly what we did, and we did this 3 or 4 days ago. And since then, we've had 3 leads coming. So, all in all, it's important to have this data in your hand. It's important to know what to look at, and then it's important to come up with a list of potential reasons why you are seeing what you are seeing, and then you get to the point of experimentation. And when you experiment, you now study the results to see if it's positive or negative on you. Optimization in terms of SEO is an endless process. What you did now that worked for you today might end up not working in the future, and you still need to change. It's important to be versatile in that respect. So thank you so much. And please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you soon. Goodbye.